Doop, doop, doop. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. Yep, there it is. All right. That's the wrong one. 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 This is great. Ah, there we are. And we're live. Just trying out some fun little transitions and whatnot. Welcome everybody to VKH Live. There's your little sneak preview of all the things to come, all the things that are under construction. I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. Winona is out of town for Otakon this weekend, so she has left me with the keys to the house and the keys to the nice car. So we're just gonna do a whole bunch of crazy streams and stuff like that this weekend. That's what I felt like doing. So that's what we're gonna do. So this stream is gonna be really quick. It's gonna be like a medium-sized stream. And then in a little under an hour, I've got another stream, and then an hour after that, I'll have another stream. All the links for that are there's a link to the schedule in the description. And yeah, but anyway, yeah, welcome to VKH Live, the show that is never late. Your clock is just wrong. Like I said, I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. If this is your first time watching, this is put on by VKH Press. Our home website is vkh-press.com. There's all kinds of awesome links to follow us and interact with us in the description. So the title of this stream, I made the Gr8 release date, and that's because this last week was like Christmas for Visual K fans. And those of you who were on the previous streams covering this, we had a ton of just a ton of stuff to get to go through for all of August, not just 8/8, but specifically 8/8, which was a Wednesday. It was the middle of the week of all places for that to happen. There was a ton of releases that came out. So we're gonna go through all the stuff that came out that specific day, 8/8. There were a lot of high profile ones, but there were a few you might have missed, and I'm gonna start with those, and then we'll circle back to the other ones that came out. Some of these, I'll talk about all of them, but in terms of what we're covering as a site, some of these I'm writing reviews for, or I've written a review for. Some of these Winona will be reviewing. Some of these we have streams planned for this weekend. And some of them we're just going to cover in this stream. So if you have any requests, feel free to let us know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So I wanted to cover first the smallest release that came out on 8/8, which was by a band called Revive. It's their fourth single, and unfortunately I have to look up the name for this, the proper translation. It's Anata wo aishita watashi wo mite. So let me try that one more time. Anata wo aishita watashi wo mite. So terrible as always, but terrible pronunciation as always. But yeah, so this is I was listening to this the other day and a little bit today. It's a new band. They're good if you're a junkie for like the brand new baby bands that are always coming out. They kind of have a style that's similar to something like Roy's or Harlequin, at least like musically. It seems like maybe like a little bit heavier than Harlequin. I'd say it's a little rough. It's about what you would expect for an indie album or for an indie single from a really new band. It's a little rough around the edges, yeah, but it's not bad. It's a solid song. You can tell they're still growing, but they have a good thing going. So I just wanted to give them a plug, maybe at the head of the stream. So as you can see, this is on. They are on YouTube. This is a full PV. You know, they have a pretty good visual style going on, making the best use of the warehouse that they can. But it's a decent. It's definitely, you know, a decent band, and we'll see how they go. We'll see how they progress. So, next up is Lako. That's spelled LAK-CO. In case you ever want to Google search them. I'll speed this up a little bit, get to the performing part. So as you can kind of see, they have like a really interesting look for starters. Lako's really leaning into like that bizarre kind of band personality. I've kind of been iffy on them for a while. They kind of have a cool attitude, a cool energy. The music has been a little rough around the edges for me. This might be the kind of thing that they needed to do. So this single is called Maguro. And for those of you who don't know, this is actually a cover of the Caligari song of the same name. So I thought that was interesting that that was the band they picked to cover, because it really does seem to fit with like their whole general style. Mad Punky Heartless had a question in the chat about the Revive. Is it like a screamo-like song, or does it have like a darker poppy sound? It's kind of like that's why I compare it to Arlequin, is it's like he screams during the verses a little bit, but then he sings like Arlequin or Royce does for the rest of the verse and the chorus. So, but yeah, I actually wasn't familiar with the Caligari song. I'm horribly behind on Caligari, but I'm definitely planning on catching up to them. So I listened to both, and this is like it's really well done cover in my estimation. I mean, it's an old song, so the original is only you can only expect so much in terms of like sound quality or like, production quality, that kind of a thing. So Lako's obviously had an advantage in 2018. So they were able to make their sound come through really clear covering this song. But they really preserved the personality of the song, like really well. So I think this was good for them, because it's like, Caligari is like a legendary band, obviously, and they're able to do a lot of that weird, quirky kind of personality in their music without their music kind of falling apart or being like a little messy. And I think that's kind of been Lako's problem. So covering this single makes perfect sense in my book. And they did a really solid job. And the PV is really good, because like the style that they picked is, visually their style is like really on point, really unique, very nice, very interesting to look at, as you can see. The drummer's like face paint is like crazy. And then, it's edited together really well. So I would recommend checking this out. This is on, they are on GLK Music's YouTube channel. I think if I scroll down, you can see that. So yeah, I would definitely check them out, and check out this song for sure. Seems like it'll be a solid starting point. So yeah, that's Lako. Really fun song, really funky, man. I get it's really catchy. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that song. I quite enjoyed this cover too. All right. The last one is the last of the newbies is or the releases that might have like fallen through the cracks, you could say, because of all the other like high profile releases, is a band called Plus A. So this is actually Acura's latest project. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her. You'll notice her, if you are, you've probably seen her around. You'll notice her as soon as like the PV starts, or as soon as like she comes in on the PV. But she's partnered with like a few different musicians to create this band. This is her latest project. So I think the project I found her from was Disacode. So, and she's a female visual kei artist. She's pretty indie. I think people are kind of hit and miss when it comes to how they feel about her and her music. I know she has an extensive modeling background as well, in terms of like modeling. She's got, there's like small little video segments that have been done, on her by international news groups, probably Japanese news groups too, highlighting her for her cross-dressing, quote unquote, is like how they refer to it, fashion. I don't, it's just typical Visual K for Visual K fans, like, like you, if you're watching, if you're watching and you're a Visual K fan, you're like, this isn't really anything new. She kind of looks Visual K. She looks like, how the Exist Trace members look. But I guess like her being across like a bunch of different industries, like fashion and music and whatever else, she gets around. And so, people who aren't familiar, they paid a little bit of attention. If you listen to any of Acura's music or projects in the past and you were like, this isn't like that great, I would still recommend giving this a shot, because it's very nice, very pretty symphonic music, symphonic rock music. It's a very, very pleasant song, very upbeat song. Her singing's improved significantly, and this song was actually produced by and composed, I believe, by Mia from Gr8, the guitarist. So there's a little bit of street cred backing like the composition of the song, and the song, I think itself, is performed quite well. I was definitely surprised that this had flown under everybody's radar in the way that it has. So we may, if they can, I'm not sure if this is going to be like a continual, like a continual project, or how long they're going to stay together. I believe it's called, I'm not sure if it's called Plus A, just related to Akira, because, or if it's because of the violinist, who seems to be the other main member. They're the two that are posing in pictures. I'm actually not very familiar with her. I don't have her information up in front of me. But yeah, so as you can see, it's like a very nice, well-shot PV. It's a nice song. This is on Chain Music's official YouTube channel. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's a full PV. Got nothing to lose, just a quick listen. But it's very pleasant. It's very nice. I very much enjoy it. So, yeah. So, let's see. Who's next? Next up is Dimlim. So, Dimlim, I will just give an update. This is the latest PV that they have up. I did such a poor job pronouncing that last one. I'm not going to pronounce this one because I just realized that I missed looking up the English for this. But it's on their YouTube channel. This is the latest PV that they put up. So Dimlim dropped. You know what? I should actually look at the English for this because I just realized, or the not the English, it is in English, but the actual spelling for their album, because I realized I may be pronouncing it. I may have been pronouncing it wrong. Okay, it's the album called Che Doara. So I don't know if that's Latin or made up, or if it's just Dimlim language, Dimlim speak or something. But as you can see, this PV is very, very reminiscent of Gr8 to an extent. The song is also very reminiscent. It's a very dark concept. It's obviously a wife who's obviously in denial about her, or a woman who's in denial about her lover or her husband or whoever who's dead, and she's trying to wake him up. Very intense song. So the album Che Doara dropped on 8/8, and I was kind of struck by the fact that it's sold out like everywhere. Like it's on back order 2 to 3 weeks on CD Japan. Amazon Japan doesn't even have a date from what I saw. So I think there was a huge demand for this album. There's a huge interest in this album. It is their first full album, and it is a concept album. And the PV that they had put out ahead of this was called Vanitas, and that blew me away, quite frankly. in terms of, you know, how wildly experimental it was. They really weren't afraid to just try just some really ambitious experimentation with like throwing different genres together and keeping up the same level of intensity the entire time. But so in terms of this album, I'm going to be listening to it over the next few days, and I'm going to be reviewing this, I think. Hopefully getting it out either this week or this weekend. Just because it's a very high profile album. I'm very intrigued by it. The music that I've heard so far is very interesting. You know, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. I don't have a ton of additional updates outside of that, beyond saying that you should definitely check out their YouTube channel, because they have plenty of music from the album on there already. It's dimlim_official, and as you can see here, you have a music video. You have the Vanitas music video, which has 121,000 views in 2 months, and this is a band that's just a little over a year old. So, you know, goddamn. But and then there's the music video is just showing you, and a lyric video for another song. So you'll get an idea of like what's going on the album, and then you can check our site for more details on where to get it. I'll have articles up on it, just covering exactly what it is in more detail, where you can get it and things like that. Once we get an update on like where to buy it, you know, because it's kind of out of stock. We have our copy, but you know, it's yeah. Gula says, I can't even grade that. No, you can't. Well, it's not Japanese, so Chedoara is, I don't know. It's all English letters, so no judgment to be cast there, I don't think. Mad Punky Heartless says, I might have to watch this video. It looks interesting. Yeah, it's been on my recommended list for the past few days. I think it might be the time. Yeah, it's definitely really, really solid. I'm kind of making up my mind in terms of like if I enjoy this music or if I'm just like blown away by it and just kind of like, you know, if it's making my mind melt. I'm honestly feeling like I'm gonna have to set aside time to listen to this full album, just because I'm worried like it might be like a really intense album. It might make me too anxious to do other things at the same time. So, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So, all right, next up we have lm.c, which we've is the originator of 8/8. They are the OG. They are the owners of 8/8. lm.c fans know that 8/8 is lm.c's anniversary. It has all kinds of tie-ins to the band itself, the band's name, or not the band's name, song name. Sorry, you know, like 88, and you know. You guys love your eights and eights and eights and eights and eights and eights. But yeah, so if anybody missed it, we had how many streams? Did we have multiple streams on lm.c? We definitely, no, I think we just had on this new album. So we had our review went up on 8/8 for it. I was able to get it up excuse me, shortly around pretty much around the time it came out in the States. And I loved it. And I thought it was fantastic. I think it's a contender for album of the year. And yes, I'm aware of what else has come out and what else is coming out. It is that good. This PV here for the song Chain Dreamers, it's you know, Chain Dreamers is a solid song, but it's not representative of the entire album, because every song on the album sounds like completely different and unique. They're doing a lot of intense experimentation in this album, and when I say intense, I mean like intensely pleasant, poppy, catchy, just really unique stuff. So if you want to hear more thoughts on that from myself and Winona, if you missed the stream, we did also do a stream covering lm.c. and this new album, which is called Future Sensation. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. If you just check our YouTube channel. Moving forward, we are going to have, and I've discussed this before, but moving forward, we are going to have a live stream in the future, probably when things settle down a little bit, because we do have a lot planned. But we're going to do another ranking releases for LMC with Future Sensation thrown in the mix this time. So for those of you who aren't familiar, sometimes we do these fun streams where we have a poll come out ahead of time where people can drag and drop like a band's different albums and rank them from their favorite to their least favorite. And then we aggregate all the results together, and so we average out like what the average of all the fans that voted is, and then we reveal that, and we talk about it on stream. So it's a lot of fun. So since that just happened, we did that for the Gazette when 9th came out, and so we're going to do it for LMC. We did it. LMC fans were actually our trial run for the ranking releases. So we did one in the summer. So you can go back and check that out for sure. If you want to see where LMC fans placed all the albums there. The number one album that they picked was actually Veda, which was their last album. So it'll be interesting to see if that gets dethroned, or if we have if minds have changed and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Mad Funky Heartless says Future Sensation is definitely going to be a top. Yeah, so some of them are. Some of you guys I was watching some of you guys react to it. Like in Discord, or we were talking about it, or in our chats and stuff, and you guys were over the moon about it. I was over the moon about it. I loved it. So check out our stream for LMC. Check out the review I wrote. It's on our website. And definitely get the album, because it's out on iTunes. It's out on Apple Music and Spotify. So definitely check it out. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy a physical copy. They did the good thing. They did a good thing, and they got it out. They got it out on streaming services. So good on them for that. But yeah. So moving on, we've got Desert. Desert put out a full album. It's called Today. And it is also like really, really like backlogged in terms of like where to order it. So that's going to be another one that's going to be difficult for people to get a hold of. So hopefully things are restocked soon on CD Japan or Amazon. That's actually as soon as we find out where to get them, in a place that isn't sold out, we may just release updated articles with information about that, because it seems that one and Che Doara by Dimlim were both in very high demand. So But Desert is a wonderful band. They do have a album preview on their channel, Desert Official, that I just saw that you could listen to. I actually haven't been able to listen to it myself. I almost don't want to, because I will probably review this at some point when there's time. I don't want to pack all of our articles together in like a 2-week span, but yeah. So if you're not familiar with Desert's music, it's very I would consider them okay. Visually, as you can see, it's very smeary dark makeup, but they have like a really strong nu metal or alt metal / like it's both of them, I guess, streak in their music. They have plenty of PVs up on YouTube. They've all, garnered a lot of notoriety because they do a lot of very, interesting things with nu metal, and then mixing it with like some of the grittier, like harder, kind of more punk side of the underground Visual K bands. So it's it's usually fairly heavy music, but it's always something you're like really bobbing your head to. It's a jam. It's catchy. And when they decide to do new metal, like straight new metal, like they really nail it. Like in bands I haven't heard in a while. So a lot of people point out there's like really strong Korn influences on some of that music. Yeah, I would agree. And so if you like Korn, you'll probably enjoy Desert. Definitely not a knockoff of Korn for sure. There's a ton of depth to this band. So really looking forward to this album. So definitely check out all their music that they have available on their YouTube channel. So yeah. Let's see what else came out. Oh yeah, Acme. How about Acme? So Acme, for anyone who's unfamiliar, is the new band for the former vocalist of Dive, whose name is Chisa, and they are what I have dubbed, and I'm grateful that people are okay with it because I keep referring to it like this as an extra K band, which is basically like if you take Oshara K and like turn it up to 1,000. It's just like the visuals are really extra, the music is really extra. Just when you're like, if you like look at this, right? Like it's just like it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Like it's really nice to look at, but you're just sitting there looking like, how did they make this work, man? There's like every color in the rainbow, and it's flying at you in every different way. So, but they really, from the PV and everything, it's pretty clear they've really figured out how to make this crazy style that they've got work for them. They really nailed it with the visuals in this PV, and even the sound's coming through like really great. They've got like a really solid, this could easily be an anime opening if they wanted it to. This song is called Zeshooka, and the album that came out on 8/8 was of the same name. So I would definitely recommend checking them out. They've released some interesting songs and PVs in the past, like Rotten Orange, which was it was all orange, and it was a great song. Put a lot of people, I think that put them on the map for a lot of people. But I will be doing a live reaction stream to them tomorrow, to their album specifically. We'll be doing a listening party. So that should be a lot of fun, and we'll get into the album more then. But yeah, liking what I'm seeing, like what I've heard so far from the song, and this album is also available on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music as well. So I would definitely check them out. Last but not least is Jupiter with Theory of Evolution. This is the PV for Theory of Evolution, and this is also the song. We're going to get into this a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean completely and thoroughly, in about 20 minutes. So I won't say too much on this other than we have a live reaction listening party coming up at 10:30 that I will be doing. I'll be listening to Jupiter's newest EP, which is with their new vocalist, and it is available on Apple Music. There's an article on our website that links to the music and also to the live stream. It's going to be interesting. We've had some conversations about this in the past, but I definitely want to go through the entire, all the tracks on the EP, since it is a new vocalist, and really get a solid impression. I'll talk about the PV since I won't be going through the PV. I'll be going through the actual music. The PV is really solid. It's really enticing, as you can see. I've had mixed feelings about the music, as I've said in the past, but I'm going to give it another shot and also listen to the B-sides of the EP. But the PV itself, I got to give them like really good credit. They have a really solid style for what they're going for. It's very, very polished, and a good aesthetic. So, also very interesting. It's been up a little over a month, and it's at about 120,000 views. So, yeah, it'll be, this seems to be getting a lot of traction. People are interested. People want this band to work. They've been through multiple members. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what music they put out going forward. Very interesting to see what music they have hiding in the B-sides that I might have missed. Yeah, so, and with that, that is all of the bands that I had to cover in terms of the Gr8 release date. Definitely check out our articles covering these releases and streams. I've linked this article in the description for the stream schedule. I have links up for the stream that's happening in 20 minutes for Jupiter, and also for we're doing an after hours. I'm doing an after hours stream following that, which is just going to be just me ranting about a few different things. Got some requests to rant a little bit, so I'm gonna warm up a little bit. It's like a warm up rant stream. So I have like one thing that I definitely want to like share some solid thoughts on, and then just gonna ramble and rant about like other miscellaneous topics I haven't had the chance to address in other content. But yeah, outside of that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. Make sure you check out our article for the Jupiter stream, and download the download or add the what's it called? Oh, Theory of Evolution. I'm drawing a blank. Got to go get Monster in between streams. Yeah, make sure you add Theory of Evolution to your iTunes library. We're going to listen through together and react together. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a bit. And as always, keep it locked here to VKH Press on YouTube and vkh-press.com for the best coverage on J-Rock and Visual K. Peace.